Abigail, welcome back to another video. So, if you've seen my best friend tag with my best friend Megan, you would know that I love saying random story times at the most random moments. However, I do not have one big main story time today, but I came up with 10 small ones. So within this video, I am going to be saying my top 10 story times. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first story time I have is the time I stole something. So when I was 6 years old, me and my mum went into a card factory in town. I picked a card out to buy for someone at the time, and my mum didn't notice it in my hand at all. So we walked out of the shop, and then about 5 minutes later my mum saw it in my hand. She noticed that she hadn't paid for it at all, and I technically stole it. So my mum made me go back to the shop and pay for it myself out of my own money and apologise to the members of staff. So the second story time is the time I almost got detention. Whoever was on my table in year 8 for science will know this. So there was a teacher who was kind of a supply, and then he actually turned out teacher for a few months. And one time I said to two of my friends, shut up. However, the teacher came over and thought it was me saying it to him. And he said to me, what did you say to me? I was like, oh, nothing, I was saying it to the girls. And he literally, he was faking it all. He was like, oh, after you said it, or I'm gonna, give you detention and possibly isolate you. Now, not gonna lie, I was almost on the verge of tears when he said isolation. I have to be honest, I'm like a person who doesn't get detention or isolation or any of that stuff. And then all the girls were laughing around me, and I was like, why are they all laughing? And I was like, are you kidding me? He was completely faking it. He knew that I was on about to the girls. He didn't care whatsoever. And here I am, practically almost on the verge of tears, with my friends laughing around me, including him. That teacher, however, I had in year 9 then, and he remembered me. He remembered what happened. Okay, so the next story time is the time I had a weird dream. Now, there's 2 for this. So the first weird dream was to do with my bedroom at the time. So I was 10 years old, and basically I had a dream that I was outside my bedroom door, and when I got in my room, my whole bedroom was flipped upside down. Everything was on the ceiling, and it was really, really weird. I don't know why it was like that. I don't know how it happened, but it was weird as well because it felt so realistic that I literally woke up being so shocked, I guess, and wondering what happened to my room. But that was weird, first of all. The other weird dream, it was kind of weird, kind of scary. So this was when I was about 11. So as you can tell, I'm inside now. Basically what happened is the lighting outside was really doing my head in, so I'm actually back inside now. So basically what happened, it was night time and the fire alarm went off downstairs. So I heard it. So I went in my mum's bedroom and woke her up. So we went downstairs, and it turned out that the fire was in the living room, which in my old house, the living room was at the back of the house, and then there was the kitchen and the front door. So it happened in the living room somehow, and me and my mum went downstairs. So we went downstairs, and my mum was on the phone to my nan. She was in the kitchen on the phone to my nan saying about, having a conversation. So this fire was obviously spreading closer down to the kitchen and down to the front door. So there was a point in time I said, Mum, we gotta leave the house right now, otherwise it's gonna get too close. So what happened is my mum was still on the phone at this point, and I left the house. So I ran out of the house, got by the road, and I noticed that my mum wasn't behind me because I just ran. And then all I saw was my whole house set up on flames. All the neighbours were next to me and stuff, and I was just crying so much because I knew that my mum didn't make it out alive. I remember waking up, I went straight into my mum's room crying. It was insane. I remember that so prominently. So the fourth story time is losing a family member. So if you haven't already seen, I think it was about 2 years ago when I hit 100 subscribers, I did a full story time of my dad passing away. So I'm gonna briefly mention it. If you want to hear the full story, there will be a link down below to that video. So just brief, my dad passed away 8 years ago in September the 1st, 2011. He had brain damage. He was in hospital for a while, for like 5 years. At the time I was only 7 years old. That's just a mini short story time, just if no one knew about it before this time. Okay, so the 5th story time is being bullied. I'm not going to mention the person's name, however this person I'm actually friends with now, like not best friends with her, but I am quite close with her. I mean, she bullied me in primary school. She remembers doing it and stuff, and one of the main things I remember, and me and her had a conversation about this the other day, is we were in her back garden and she had a massive like swimming pool, and we were in there and we were like playing with the water and stuff, and she held my head under the water and I almost drowned from her swimming pool. She basically tried to drown me in her swimming pool. She held me under there for long enough, because when I came back up from the water, I was breathing really heavily, just about catching my breath. So me and her are fine now. Forgive and forget kind of thing. However, that memory still is there. Number 6 is a near-death experience. So when I was born, there was 2 ways I almost died. So the first one was I got stuck in my mum's pelvis and they couldn't get me out, and if I was like close enough to like stop breathing, and I would have died because of that. And another time when they did eventually get me out of my mum's womb, they had to give me a dosage of medical salt in my foot, and they somehow overdosed me with medical salt, and now I have a permanent scar on my ankle. Luckily I didn't die. Number 7 is my work experience. Last week I was doing work experience in a nursery. Just a brief story time. The last day, on Friday, me and my friend were making water balloons. It was one of the funniest experiences I have had in a while. Definitely work experience was amazing, and making these water balloons was just, I think I got absolutely soaked, she got soaked. It was just so funny. Number 8 is I have never ever been grounded. Growing up, I always got put on the naughty step, and those kind of things. My mum never grounded me, because me and my mum have always been like best friends, more than mother and daughter kind of thing. We've always been quite close. She always said that she would ground me, however she never got around to doing it. And a little story time about me being on the naughty step. So where I used to live, where the kitchen was, you could see the stairs. My mum always used to keep an eye on me while she was doing the dishes or something. So what I used to manage to do when I was about 6 or 7 was somehow make no noise climbing up the stairs, would go in my room at the top of the stairs and like play with toys and that, and then my mum would come up and obviously tell me to come downstairs and go back on the naughty step. I was a good child, I promise. It was the first time getting my period, so a little bit of a story time. Is very short, but I was I was 11 when I got mine, and I literally cried. I was like, why am I so young having it? And I really didn't want it, so I literally cried for about half an hour. The last story time is how I met my top 3 best friends at the moment. So the first one is Megan. So Megan's my best friend. Basically how we met is we were in a mutual friendship group in year 8. In school, literally that's the only way of us meeting that we both remember. Then it came to year 9, we were like more friends because we were in classes together, but that was mainly it. And then year 10 now, we're best friends, we're in the same friendship group, and we spend a lot of time on FaceTime with each other. So the second best friend of mine is Sean. Basically me and Sean met in Manor Adventure in year 6, which was a school trip with like different schools in the area, primary schools in the area. And Sean was from a different primary school and I met her. And yeah, we were in class together in year 7 and year 8. Kind of drifted a bit in year 9, and now we're quite close. My last friend, who I used to be really close with, I still talk to her now obviously, is Katie. Me and Katie were friends from the beginning, literally. Our parents knew each other before we were even born. My mum knew her mum. But me and Katie were born in the same hospital. We were both late. Our birth was both late. we were only born 8 days apart, and we were best friends from there. We grew up together quite a lot. We were over each other's quite a lot growing up. We went to the same primary school and we were very, very close. So that's the end of today's video, guys. I know it might be a bit short. I know some of these story times are quite small and not too exciting, but I thought why not share them, since I love doing story times a lot. So if you enjoyed this video, guys, please leave a massive thumbs up, comment down below video suggestions, and of course subscribe. Also, if you want to get a notification of when I upload my next video, click the notification bell down below. I upload every Wednesday at 4 PM, and I will see you guys next week with another video. Bye, guys.